Hello, my name is Dave and welcome to Fore Golf. I make golf videos in Perth, Western Australia, and sometimes in VR.
What happens when you mix the MetaQuest 3S, the official PGA Tour golf game for VR, and this specialist club attachment? It's got to be the best combination of VR golf out there. Now, if you're not familiar with Golf Plus, it is the official game of the PGA Tour with over 30 courses, including Pebble Beach, St Andrews, Royal Port Rush, Pinehurst, and many, many more. You get 3 courses out of the box, which is Alpine, Cliffs, and Castle. And then you can actually do daily tournaments where you get access to some of the other courses that are in there, but otherwise you need to buy a subscription to actually get access to all of the courses, or you can buy them individually. If you are interested in purchasing the game, they have given me a code that will get you 10% off, which is FTF-190889. Blimey, I remembered it. In terms of compatibility, you can just use this with the regular controller that you get with the MetaQuest, the actual handheld one. But with my experience using this other club, I highly recommend getting something else to make it feel more realistic. So onto that, the actual club itself, you can see how it connects and holds the controller in there. There are instructions on how you set that up and clip it in there, but you know, I'm not going to bore you with that. But I do want to talk about how well made the thing is. So this is the Drive VR Elite. This is the club. So it's approximately about 2/3 the length of a putter, I'd say. So yeah, it's probably about 2 foot long. It has weights that you place in the end here to give it the feel of, a heavier club, like there is actually a head on the end of here. Carbon fiber in the shaft, a proper grip, like no mucking about. It's like a multi-material. It's exactly the same as the Golf Pride grips that I have on my actual clubs. And I have to say, like the way this then feels, it's just so much more realistic than having just a controller in your hand. Deadeye VR, who sent that to me, have actually provided a discount code for that as well, and the code is just Fore. So both of these links will be in the description. If you're interested in buying either of them, you can go and check those out. So I should probably show you what this actually looks like. So I'm going to try and do a mixture of you seeing what my swing looks like in conjunction with how that looks in game and everything. So hopefully after this, you'll have a bit of an understanding of how it works and why this isn't just another Tiger Woods golf game, or something like that. This is something more. By the way, I'm going to have to take my hat off. I might put it backwards. What do you think? Nope. This is what you see when you first load the game up. The background we have here is Lofoten Links. So if you watch that video Peter Finch did, where he had to birdie every hole on the golf course, I think it was in Iceland or whatever, that's where we are. And one of the other things that you've now got as well, and I've just transported myself to, is the cradle. This is me, by the way. It's my avatar in the Quest, and there's my golf bag, which I can actually pick up and throw over there. The cradle at Pinehurst. So with this one, it's a par 3 course. It's very cool. It's very difficult as well. But what we're going to do is we're just going to have a look at some of the individual elements, I suppose, of the game. So we've got the actual courses. In fact, before we do that, I'm just going to have a look at tournament mode. And the reason is, if we look at Friday's tournament, me, second. I came second in the world. There's all of the different results. There was me, 27 putts, 67% green and regs, shot 4 under, second in the world in amateur bronze 3, which is the lowest tier. But that's irrelevant. It's almost irrelevant. Anyway, so you can do those daily tournaments, and I do enter those when I can. In terms of the single player options, you've got all of these different courses. I mentioned there's 30 or something courses that are in here. So you've got Bay Hill, Bethpage, Canyons, another pitch and putt there. You've got the individual, the courses that came in it, the Alpine, Cliffs and Castle, East Lake, Kiowa Island, Lofoten where we just were, Kapalua, Quail Hollow, Pebble Beach, TPC Sawgrass, TPC Scottsdale as well. You can actually do all the waste management stuff. So we're going to do 3 iconic holes. We're going to do 18 at St Andrews.
we're going to do the par 3, is it 5th, 6th at Pebble Beach, and then we'll do the waste management. We're going to do 3 of those individual holes. All right, so while we're here, I will just pick Scottsdale. Just going to do it in practice mode. We're not going to worry about doing anything else, and just need to pick that par 3, which is number 16. We're going to do it from the back tees, short, medium pins with fast greens. So now we will be transported to TPC Scottsdale. Okay, so it is now recording. We're here. We're on the tee box. Wow, you can see all that's behind me at the moment. So what you can actually do is you hit the B button and it just recenters everything. Sorry, yeah, it's the A button maybe. That recenters it. I actually want it here, to be honest. So I have that in front of me. So I'm looking at you, and that is that way. And for some reason I have a driver in my hand, which we're probably not going to need. But in terms of how you then control it, hit the B button to open up the menu. Now you can click on here and then it will do a smart selection for the club. So where you're kind of thinking about landing it and whatever, but we're just going to be aggressive and try and go exactly for the flag. We've got 152 at the flag. It's suggesting a 7-iron. It has got wind slightly behind. As you see, when I raise the club like that, you can get the wind indication. When I drop it down, you don't get that anymore. I actually feel like maybe it's the 8-iron. We're going to give the 8-iron a go. When I come out of that menu, you then see that I've got the club in front of me. And this is where this just is scary accurate. All right, you can see I've got the tour response ball there. That line actually stays pointed at the flag. And when I do look at the flag and raise the club up, you can see that that then gives me the indication of what's up there. It's very cool. That's all I can say. Even to the point of view when I open the club face like that and close the club face, you actually get that interaction. And as I move it around, even if I was playing like a shorter shot, you see how far I'm taking it back. It works. It works. Anyway, right, let's hit a shot. Let's see if we can make a hole in one. All right, when the ball's in the air, you hit the trigger. That is not good. And it's lucky that I hit the 8, actually, because I think the 7 goes in that bunker. But this is a good example of showing you then on a chip shot. So I've got 17 metres. Again, when I raise the club up, I get the contour lines and stuff like that to help me out, which otherwise this would be very difficult to do, to be honest. All right, so I can take practice swings. See there where that interacted with the ground and everything. So let's try and get that somewhere in front. 17 metres. I could change club if I want to, but I'm just going to leave it with the lob wedge. Try and land it about 3/4 of the way there, and it should spin. That is not bad. Yep, pretty good. Don't mind that. I don't mind it either. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. When it comes to putting, you will get those contour lines. I actually find that you can actually bring it. I still try to avoid actually standing on the ball. It's weird. But if I stand here, I get a really good indicator of, you know, kind of what that putt's doing. So it's clearly downhill, and it's also going to move as I hit it a little bit right to left. But I'm just going to kind of go at the right edge. Again, the line on the ball is going to be pointing straight at the flag, so I want to hit it slightly to the right of that. And we saved that par. Right, let's go on to the next one. And right, so we're going to want that par 3. What is that par 3? The tiny little one. Number 7, 104 metres. We are going to just show maybe how some of the other camera modes work now. So you can, again, take that top mode, you know, zoom right up as if you were like over the property. And again, this is very cool. You see all the layout of the rest of the holes, and they're all as they would be as well. Hit trigger to bring that back down. We're gonna try and get the right club for this. So we've got 104 metres to the pin, but as you see, it's 9 metres down. So that's given me sand wedge for that distance, but yeah, look, it's probably not the end of the world. What I'm going to just try with this one is I'm actually going to try and bring in the other creator camera. So close that menu. You can now see that camera's behind us. And we're going to hit this shot. So hopefully you see the difference in using the shot cam instead. I'll tell you what, I think it's good. Oh, it's just to the left. Just to the left. Okay, I'm going to go into free cam. This will give you an idea of how that chip swing looks overall. So when that camera's out there, you can actually see kind of front on. So I'm just going to chip this with it front on, and then I'll show you the result, how it comes out. I mean, if it went in, that would be good. I'm happy with that. I'm very happy with that. I'm just going to tap this one in. And that is par. We're going to go to the final hole. We are going to go to... actually, before I go there are some other golf modes within there. We can just go into practice directly, which is like a driving range kind of style thing. You've also got Top Golf driving range, which is really cool, and you've got a store if you want to buy new clubs and all that sort of stuff. So we're going to do the one and only St Andrews. So we're going to go do some practice there. Hole number 18, all right, with the Swilking Bridge and all of that. We're going to go up the back tees at St Andrews. Fantastic. Look, even down to the tee markers, it's actually got the inscriptions on it. Overlooking the entire property. Everything's detailed. It's very cool, including other courses. I love it. That must be the university. I don't know, I've never been to Scotland. Alright, so we've got the Swilking Bridge over there. In fact, why don't we try something? And there we go. There's the bridge. We can hit our next shot with the bridge in there. This is what I do for you. I sacrifice birdies for that. There's the bridge. Very cool. I think as I do more videos with this, I'll do more using the shot camera. I think it's a better experience for you, but for this video I just want to show how it actually looks in VR, how you're probably going to experience the game a lot more. So with this as well, you can actually move around. So you see we've got this. This is basically like a zoom to for the camera. So if I wanted to, I could go and stand on the bridge. Like that. There you go. I'm on the bridge. How cool is this? I mean, I may never go here. This might be the closest I ever get. But yeah, very cool. And then I can also go all the way down the fairway if I want to as well. I can carry on doing that. I can have a look at what cars we've got parked along here that could be in trouble in a second, if I'm honest. I can go all the way up onto the green if I want to. And can I go any closer there? Because I want to show you what this is. That's the Old Course Shop and Tom Morris St Andrew. I don't know what that is, if that's another shop, but very cool. Anyway, back to the ball. Alright, so 257 to go. Probably can't get there, but it's St Andrews. Maybe it'll run up. Oh, what's the wind doing? 8? No, we're not getting there. That is in the shop. Yep, that is. I've hit it down the road. It's in a house. I can show you how the penalty area works now. So I went OB, which that's not actually right, is it? Because if it did go OB, I should be playing it again. But do you know what? We're going to just drop that there and say nothing. Now, I'm going to try to not shank it into... I don't know what that would be. Kind of Jaguar vibes from that one. Right, we've got 85 metres out of the rough with sandwich. Has it got a sandwich for me? It's kind of hidden behind that. I think it's sandwich. It looks like a sandwich. Hold on, I've got an idea. It is as well, look, it says 54 in my high toe because I put the milk grinds in there. 54 it is, Sandwich. Alright, so we're up onto the green and 5.1 metres to go. While I'm up here, I'm just going to have a look around, enjoy the view. Again, I may not ever get here, so to see it is very cool. We have this putt for about $1 million, I think, going out of bounds, and trying to get that photo of the bridge for you. So I will have a look. Yeah, okay, so uphill, a little bit left to right. Easy. Easy. Bogey. Yeah, right. Okay. So that is all I'm going to show you within the game. I'm going to do a load more videos on here for sure. All right, I'll probably do some of the daily tournaments. Beth Page is on there. I'm probably going to do something Ryder Cup related on that. But for now, let's just go back to what else I think.
All right, so it's fairly apparent. My experience with this so far has been overwhelmingly positive. I'm almost to the point where I enjoy doing this more than I enjoy actually hitting on the sim behind me. Maybe that's because I hit it a tiny bit straighter in VR and a bit further, but honestly, I just think having the exposure to those real golf courses, being able to almost wander around them, you know, and kind of have that immersion from the VR perspective is huge. Now, if you're someone that doesn't have a VR headset or aren't considering buying one, then, you know, you're probably never going to have, you know, a go at this. But I'm guessing if you've clicked on this video, you have, or you are thinking of doing that. I like the little touches where you've got the daily and weekly tournaments, so you can kind of engage with others. There is a multiplayer mode as well. If I'm honest, I haven't played around with that yet, but if I had friends, like generally, but also that use this as well, yeah, it's something I definitely think you could do, because I think you could chat through the headsets and whatever with each other, which would be pretty cool. Another one of the benefits is how much space you actually need to do it, because in reality, you could just do this in any size room that you are able to stand up in, but you just wouldn't really be able to use the club. You could use the controller in your hand. Using the controller, you still need a decent amount of head height to actually work through it, but, you know, it's not anywhere close to the amount of room that you'd need for a simulator. So I think all up, this setup, I think it was about $400 for the Quest. The game itself was like $40, something like that, and then the pass on top of that. I honestly don't know because they provided it for me, but each course cost about $18 if you were going to buy it. These are all in Australian, by the way. And then the club itself, I think, was about $150. So for less than, way less than $1,000, even if you looked at a year of a subscription, this is pretty good value. Plus you can do all the other stuff that you can do with the actual VR headset, etc. So well worth a go, in my opinion. As I mentioned, there are discount codes for both the actual game, Golf Plus, as well as the Drive VR Elite Club. If you did enjoy this video, hit that like button, and if you haven't already, consider subscribing to the channel. It really does help me as a push to get to 7,500 by the end of the year. Would love for you to be along for the ride. Get on board the gravy train. I'll see you next time.